Dan really wants to start the show, so we're going to get it started. This is a new show. Brad's new show.
Brad's new show.
Now,
he doesn't like it when I say it.
Yeah, if you guys are familiar with us, we are the co-hosts of the Hangout podcast.
Duh.
If you're new, which that's the reason we're doing this, honestly, to get some new viewers, to expand our horizon. Not to throw you Hangout podcast listeners aside, but some of you are probably not going to like this, if we're going to be honest. Yeah. Some of you aren't into sports.
Yeah, some of you aren't. Well, I don't know why I'm looking at the monitor when I should be looking at the camera.
Maybe a lot of you.
It's my first time. Sorry. So Brad's new show.
Brad's
get that in your heads. It's Brad's show. So
I'm Brad. If you're new,
Brad's sports show.
Brad's Sports
because we didn't want
Shorts.
It's Brad's Sports Shorts.
Bill Schwartz Sports.
So we're gonna
Division
keep
3
sports for the most part. Maybe
for
sports will creep
for you Hangout listeners.
Maybe if we get an OJ situation.
Ooh. Then it makes it into the news of normal.
You know what? Put your guesses down below. Who's the next OJ? Who's the?
I mean, we kind of had Aaron Hernandez.
True.
But we had that guy on Last Chance U.
He
didn't really kill that person.
This is interesting.
This is a dark start to what's going to be a happy sports podcast.
So, yeah, it's just going to be the sports section of the Hangout podcast just in its own thing. So we can elaborate on stuff that we...
And all you crybabies from the Hangout podcast can quit commenting, stop talking about sports all the time. We get it literally in the comments of every episode.
We don't.
Maybe we will.
We don't. But I have heard, that episode they talked about sports.
Yeah, I have heard it in person.
Okay, well, we'll keep that to be more lighthearted, fucking topical, whatever, mainstream stuff. And then sports will live here. Part. And then we got my show, which is If You're Sad.
That's coming up in the Hangout podcast episode. We'll talk about it.
My sad
Dan has his own new show. This is Brad's new show. It's not. I might have another new show.
And you can tell it's his show because of the jersey.
No, I'm wearing a jersey because it's a sports show.
Yeah, that's why I wore this hat. I wouldn't have worn the hat if it was the other show.
The new people are getting upset. Obviously, with the time that we are currently in, our current and for the foreseeable future topic is going to be fantasy football.
Oh.
We are going to do some fantasy talk today, and we're going to do tips. We're going to try, we were talking earlier, we're going to try to put new episodes out on Tuesdays. We're playing with the idea.
Yeah, we got to figure it out, but that's the
plan. Tentative.
That's the plan. And you know us in plans.
Dan's got some great names for the show. We currently don't have one.
I do.
Yeah, it's Dan's new show.
No. Incorrect.
So, obviously the title is...
You see it somewhere.
Down below.
We have no idea at this moment. It's kind of fun. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, fantasy tips Brad wants to do on his new show. Fantasy talk. Current sports stuff that's going on.
It's not going to just be fantasy.
He's going to predict the next 6 Super Bowl winners at some point.
Jeez Louise.
Yeah, I mean...
6.
Yeah, you said it, though.
Yeah.
I did.
It's one of the things. I've actually predicted 5 of the last 8.
You were saying Colts, even with the recent news.
Yeah. Don't look at the notes yet.
Okay.
If we're onto the notes, we should probably move on to the episode. Also, we're going to try to keep it shorter.
Yeah, it's not going to be Hangout length, but you could tell that because you clicked on the video because it wasn't Hangout length, probably.
Right.
So around
or
30...
if you're a new viewer, you have no idea what Hangout length is anyways.
Yeah, we're just speaking like you know anything about us, which you probably don't. So anyways, it's going to be about 30 minutes.
This one might run a little long, but we're going to try to keep them around 30 minutes.
Yeah, they're going to be around 30 minutes.
In case there's an OJ in...
No J.
If there's a...
No OJ.
If there's another OJ, the conversation might last a little longer.
Yeah. But 30 minutes is the goal.
So hopefully, we're no sports pros. We just like it. We got a little bit of knowledge. We do some reading. We play...
Brad reads. He's a reader.
Yeah, I do read a lot about sports. So anyways, whatever. You come back. You like the show. Maybe you just want to hear us idiots talk about sports.
We appreciate it.
Let us know maybe we need help with our fantasy team, which...
Yeah, give us tips.
In a few minutes, you'll find out that Dan does.
I do need some tips.
Dan does need some help. He's fresh off a last place finish last year in fantasy.
Yeah, which isn't good to hear when I say, when Brad says, yeah, we're going to have fancy tips.
True. And I missed the playoffs last year, too. I was thinking about it. Last year may have been like the first year you and I both missed the playoffs in fantasy. Yeah. It's quite possible.
We've been pretty consistent before that.
Yeah.
Well, I'm probably going to miss them this year, too.
Yeah. We'll get to it.
We'll get to it.
So, on the whole fantasy subject, I think we need to talk about our league.
Mm-hmm.
We have a different league.
Very different.
An interesting league. And what I honestly believe is the smartest league and what everybody should be playing. I honestly don't understand other leagues. I've literally thought about trying to invent, but it's not really invent, like to make our style of league like the one. Because like I don't know how anybody plays it the other way.
So
what we're talking about.
Break it down.
When me and Dan created this league, when?
It's got to be, I think it's 11 years old.
Okay, so 2008 season, something like that.
2007, 2008.
So I was in high school, freshman, sophomore year of high school.
Dumb as shit, right?
But for some reason, in my head, it made sense to me to add what we call QB PPR. So we have points
PPC.
Per completion.
PPC.
So basically, what makes our league different is quarterbacks are the king. Basically, they're it's very essential. And the reason I believe that to be the best way to play is because that's how it works in football, right? Look at this year's in a normal fantasy league. Running backs are the king, right? And then wide receivers, then tight ends, really, so the top tight ends, and then the QBs. Now, there's a team I know of this year, just rattling off, I don't know how they're going to finish, but the New York Giants. Their running back is a stud. How do you think that team does? Now, I get it, there's other things. But their quarterback, it's going to be an issue, right? So, that running back is not leading them even to the playoffs. Why are we doing fantasy football where the whole league is surrounded, or the key factor in the league is a running back? So, quarterback. Look at Tom Brady. He's had, in some teams, arguably terrible running backs, wide receivers, stuff like that, and he led the team to the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
So, IMHO, I think quarterbacks should be the central point of the league.
I agree. I think that is I like the way our league is.
I love our league.
The issue I have is with like something that just happened. So what normally happens in our league is most people take quarterbacks back to back.
It's changing
recently because
you want two good quarterbacks.
You want two good
I'll
quarterbacks,
get to that in a second too.
But I guess there is. I don't know if it wasn't really a thing back when we first started, but there's wide receivers now and running backs that are putting up crazy numbers.
There's a few guys that are dominating.
They're dominating, so they get taken higher, and they kind of mess with everyone's. Because it used to
we are traditional PPR as well.
So it used to be every year was people were taking quarterback, and then like your dad would take a receiver and would be like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah.
But now it's like kind of...
Now it changed.
It changed. But still, quarterbacks are... Usually you're getting all your quarterbacks within the first 2-3 rounds.
So we had a new person added to the league. Les, he better be watching the show, honestly, because he's going to need the help. And I was thinking about listeners from the Hangout podcast that won't watch this. And I thought of immediately him, but I was like, wait, he's in the league. He's got to watch. And then I was thinking about B-Town, and I was like, well, he helped with the draft. He better be watching, too. But so we had a new guy that entered, and I told him just as like an intro, like just a quick tip is like I would probably plan on having 2 quarterbacks selected within your first 3 rounds.
Yeah,
that's if you want to go quarterback, running back, quarterback, that's fine, I guess, because I did 2 out of my first 3. I went quarterback, wide receiver, quarterback. The thing, so, well, I guess you never really mentioned what exactly it is that you don't like about it, or because, what happened to you.
So, what happened to me is I had 10th pick this year. We have a 10-person league.
Yeah.
So, I had 10th pick, and it's serpentine, so I had 10th and 11th pick. So, I took Drew Brees and Andrew Luck back to back. Now, the issue I have is, and I see the text thread that we have between our league, and everybody's just like, oh my god, his season's ruined, and then everyone's
which is not true.
Well, but then everyone's like, why is he talking? What's going on? And it's just like, what's going through my head. Obviously, I'm like, fuck. Yeah. But I honestly kind of thought that he might not play, because he was dealing with that injury, and no one kind of knew what was going on. So I was kind of preparing myself for the worst. Like, what if Andrew doesn't play? And I've had Andrew in the past before. That year, well, I had him the year that he got injured pretty early, and that kind of, I wasn't dead last or anything, and it didn't totally derail my season, but it didn't help. And that's the thing, is I go from potentially having
Drew Brees and Andrew Luck,
which
in our league, points per completion.
We start
those
two
are two
quarterbacks
huge.
as well.
So that was the thing that I want to say too. That is the downfall and maybe the problem of our league. And but this year the quarterbacks are so deep, so it's not an issue this year. They're very deep.
Do you know?
Hold on, but I'll get to that because that's a problem with your draft.
Okay.
We start two quarterbacks. We have a 10-person league. If we were a 12-person league, we could not do it 100%.
Yeah, no way.
But with a 10-person league, we stretched it so. It still is a fine, because if you still go 2-2 right away, if you do two quarterbacks right off the rip, you should get 2 fine. He's laughing because I said off the rip.
This is a new phrase.
So if you do that, you should be fine. But it gets bad if you go one quarterback, then a running back, then a quarterback. Then that second quarterback, he's a bit down in the rankings. But the rankings this year, there are so many quarterbacks that are going to do just fine. Sam Darnold, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Kyler.
Yeah, see, so now the point, the part where I'm at is, so I look at who can I take. So who's left. So
here's the problem. But when I said here's the problem with your draft. You said I have Drew Brees and Andrew Luck. I'm Gucci.
I did.
You have a non-starter. He drafted a third quarterback, obviously, smart decision, who's a non-starter rookie, Dwayne Haskins, he's not going to help him at all.
Yeah, zero help.
He had whatever bye week starting in week 10 or 11. There's a good chance Dwayne could potentially be tearing it up by then,
and that's why
he'd be a good plug and play in those weeks.
That was the strat.
Here we are.
So
that's not the problem. It's an unfortunate. We had a guy retire after playing 6 years, 7 seasons in the NFL. It's crazy. This will never happen again. So it sucks.
But I'm saying
you can't predict something like this.
If your quarterback were to get injured, though,
yeah,
you're in trouble. Say Drew Brees just got injured.
Mm-hmm.
Where would I have gone from there? Even I'm taking Dwayne Haskins at that point, right? At that pick that I took him at. You know who I have? Who the people that were available were kind of the people who were still available. Case Keenum's available. Your Jacoby Brissett. Your I don't even know who else. There really wasn't too many options left. So
you're looking at,
and Jacoby, when at the time was thought of as a backup, but he was still one of the higher quarterbacks left once we were done with the draft. Because here's the other thing is, you could take in our league up to 4.
Yes, you can't, because of this problem, because we're so stacked in quarterbacks, we have a cap.
Rule. We had to.
Yeah, one guy was taking 6 QBs. Oh, so you already dropped him. Have you picked anyone up?
Jacoby.
You picked up Jacoby?
Yeah.
Okay, so
because I was trying to weigh my I just couldn't trust Case.
Yeah.
And at least Jacoby.
Case is solid though.
But Jacoby's got Ty, and he's got some little
Ebron and Doyle.
Yeah, he's got some stuff in there that I'm like, Maybe.
So the other option, and I don't know why my homie is projected 16 points in our league, Josh Rosen and or Fitzmagic. So you have the Dolphins. So basically what you have left are Redskins starter, Miami starter, Jacoby and Colts.
Yeah. That's it.
Your best option is to find a trade because there's one guy sitting with 4 QBs.
Yes.
There's one guy sitting with a very good starter. Let me just look real quick. So yeah, you can.
Well, that was my thought too. Is I was trying to look at what I've got and see what I can trade to get one of those.
Your best bet is to try and maybe snag some Nick Foles. Take a look at that.
Yeah, I've got to reassess now that fucking Luck.
Or like you said, the guy with 4, you got on his bench. You're looking at Roethlisberger and Allen.
Yeah,
Josh Allen.
Mm-hmm. So yeah,
and Josh Allen's going to get you rushing yards.
So I need to figure it out.
Yes,
because I was not expecting this.
Right, like I said, there's no way anybody can. This dude retired.
Yeah,
and I was like, what? Because here's the funny thing. Well, we'll get into this, but I was that close to taking him.
But the other thing is I've got to figure out a way to. He's got 4 quarterbacks. This is why he's got 4 quarterbacks for a situation. Well,
guess
like
what?
This.
He needs something.
True, he does need something, but I've got to figure out a way because this isn't like I'm just trying to trade to better my team and bet like we're just doing a straight up trade. I just had a meteor hit my team, and I've got to figure a way to build it back up, like get somewhat close to where I was.
Do you have a surplus anywhere?
Overloading him. I don't know if I do. I can't remember all my.
Because this person with 4 quarterbacks has his second running back is one of the ones on holdout, which seems like it's not going to come back.
Yeah.
Which I'll get into this later, but I have an idea for that.
Okay.
Anyways, we can get in. We can get into those details in a minute. I kind of want to. I mean, we got the background, obviously, of our league. You and I, co-commissioners, we've been running it. We've got a bunch of the same guys. The past few years, we've been putting in new talent.
New talent.
New talent. We had a guy in the minors for 2 years. I had this guy that wanted to join, and he didn't have much fantasy experience, so I had him running pub leagues. And he passed the test, and now there was an opening this year, and he got in. We do we're an official league, okay? We do the live draft where we all meet up. We got a big board and throw stickers on there. We got trophies, first and last place. Dan actually left the last place trophy here. You got to take it.
It's so small, I forgot it.
it's
so tiny.
So yeah. I guess the next part on the itinerary for my show is
your show, yes.
Is how are you, and we'll give our own answers. How are you as a fantasy player? Things, we talked about. I said, I traditionally like to have 2 quarterbacks. Is there just any strength, weaknesses you feel you have yourself? Because I know some for myself. I can go first if you want to.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so
it's your show.
The biggest problem I have as a fantasy player is it's the same problem, is picking players that I like and they may not be the best option.
Yeah,
and therefore not picking players because I don't like them, although they may be a better option. And I've extremely tried to cut down on that, because it's screwed me many times.
Mm-hmm.
And there will be players where I'm like, I get so ridiculous. I'm like, I don't like that dude's name. Like, nah. What it stems from kind of is Madden a little bit. And when we play Madden, and this is another one of my weaknesses, it's a trend that I seem to do is in Madden, the new Madden comes out, you try to play with all the new rookies. I have a lot of fun with one rookie, and I go, I want him in fantasy. He's not going to do shit.
Well, that's the thing, is you build him up. It's a lot easier for you to control him and him play a certain way for you.
Also,
versus him in the league.
Yeah.
Do that.
And the thing, it's not extremely rated, but Madden, in many cases, Madden rookies tend to be, the high profile ones tend to be higher rated because they haven't been in the league, so they haven't put up those stats, and they haven't got all that footage.
Like a default to start with.
Yeah, so you just got a team of Madden rookies. They're so highly rated, and those ratings are going to drop. Now, a bunch are going to raise, but as a total, I feel like
at the end of the year, you've got a few studs, and then everybody else is going to kind of level out.
Yeah. But in the beginning, when we get it right before the draft,
they kind of do almost like
it's like a hype.
I don't want to say they just plug and place these people, but obviously they have a guy who looks into skill sets and things like that. But I mean, you haven't seen him play a single NFL game, so it's almost like, okay, top, this type of QB
Madden ratings are
this skill set. Kind of put them around this area.
Oh yeah, they have a template.
Yeah, and then as the season goes on, based on performances, they adjust themselves out.
100%, yeah.
But when we're playing, the game comes out, a month before the season.
It's been out for a month.
So you're just playing with that same version of the guy where it's like, oh my god, he's sick. He's gonna kill the competition.
I mean, by that logic, I'd be drafting Bryce Love because I'm killing it with him in Madden.
True, yeah,
and that dude's not gonna get 300 yards this year, probably.
Don't pick him.
So that's my problem. I get so fixated on these things, and the worst one for me is just old players. I'm like, he's old, he's broken, I can't take him.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. My quarterbacks this year, they're both older guys.
Mm-hmm.
I got a few old guys on the roster. I really tried to break my mold this year and just say, I'm taking the smart fantasy choice this year.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll see how it works out.
For me, I'm the same way, where Madden does play a little bit, where I'm like, okay. Well, here's the other thing, also with defensive ends. We'll take a young rookie defensive end or a pass rusher in Madden, and when you user control them, I can get a bunch of sacks usually, and I'm just like, wow. Obviously, you're not picking your defense based off of that one guy.
Right.
But that has the same thing where it's like, I'm overhyping this guy where he might not do what I'm doing. My other thing is second-guessing myself. I second-guess choices, which I'm sure a bunch of people do.
Oh, 100%. Well, the problem is...
I'm thinking, the other thing is when I'm it's not so much when I'm picking throughout the year.
Like waiver wire moves?
Yeah, the draft itself, everybody's there.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone's judging.
There's a pressure.
There's people are like, people will say, even if it's just to mess with you. So I'm just like... all right, I kind of want... Then I'm also in my head like, is that too much of a stretch? And it's like, maybe it wasn't, but I'll do it anyways. But then here's the other thing: the last thing is I get locked into a plan. I came into that draft with a plan.
This one we just had.
That one, and that's why. When I was drafting, I'm getting these players who's gotta throw to somebody type players. Somebody's gotta get the receptions on the team players. Somebody's gotta do this. I had this I was picking some players that maybe weren't outlandish, crazy talent, but they were maybe one of the only options this team has. And just by default will hopefully... And I was kind of relying on that a lot. So now it's like, okay, well, I put a lot of eggs in that basket. I put, Andrew Luck fell to me. I didn't think he was going to get to me.
I didn't think he was going to be me. I was at 6, and I didn't think he was going to be there.
I didn't think he was going to get to me. I took him as a 10, 11 with Breeze. So then that changed it up. I was like, okay. So then I was like, we're set. We're set at quarterback. So then I was thinking...
And that's a good feeling.
With Dwayne, I'm thinking, okay, like you were saying earlier in the show,
100%.
Later bye week, hopefully Dwayne's kind of... I'm hoping that he kind of steps in. But here's the other thing. Dwayne got drafted, and I was like, sick.
We're big. I know we've talked about this. We're big fans of Dwayne.
Like, sick.
I love Dwayne.
But now...
I think he's going to be awesome.
He's not... Right now, he's not starting, so it's like...
And he's not been killing it, honestly.
So, for me, in my situation, it's like... I've got this
tough
backup who is a real life backup, and I need him to. I need points.
You need points now.
I need points now.
Yeah.
So, I stuck to that plan, and I didn't really.
I'll be interested.
Didn't leave any leeway room.
On our next topic on my show, we have
dude. It's good. It's your show. It's gonna be in the title.
We have a. I have like how the draft went. I want to hear a little bit more about your plan. You kind of said it a little bit, but I want to hear about it. I'll ask you later on my show.
Okay.
So, if you're done, we can move on to that.
Yeah, no, I said that was my last one.
Okay,
on your
cool,
show.
Cool.
Can you listen to your guest?
So the next topic on my show will be just how the draft went. I guess if you want to give your initial, obviously...
Like how it went as a whole?
As a total, we could get into that funny story about how we had an interesting draft day.
Yeah, so we had planned to have this draft.
So unfortunately, there's a lot of drafts that aren't even drafted yet. So some of you guys might be using some of this as...
we drafted hella early.
August...
of last year. That's how it seemed.
August 10th, we drafted. We did not have an option. We get it. It's very late, early.
Yeah, not late. It's
not
very
late.
Early.
We have had already with Lamar Miller, with Cam Newton, with Andrew Luck, with a few problems. We had to implement a rule where that person who has the problem, so in his case...
I had first dibs at the backup.
The person gets the first dib at the backup.
I got first dibs at Jacoby Brissett.
It doesn't matter if I got the news first and I was able to go grab him real quick.
Yeah.
Which I wouldn't have done.
Which I'm kind of thinking... I was actually kind of thinking, like, once I loaded up my app, because I wasn't there right away, I was like, watch, somebody fucking took him. And they're just like, oh, you're sorry.
Well, we already said
I know, but I just see somebody... There's a few people in my head I went...
So we had to draft... Got him. We had to draft early. There was a lot of people busy for the rest of the weekends. We have a few people from far out of town in our league.
Different state.
We live... No. Oh, one guy. Yeah, you're right. So we're Chicagoland area. We got people from Wisconsin. We got people from Springfield, Illinois. And we got people from close to St. Louis, Missouri. So it's hard to get us together in the same room. Like I said, we do that live draft. We got the board. Maybe we can throw a picture on the board to show them, a picture on the screen to show them the draft if they want to see. Can't really read anything, so maybe not. So we did it early. We had that rule. We were going to have the draft. We've done it previously at my house, my parents' house. We'll be fine.
I'm just looking.
This one will be long.
Dude, I was just looking at your show.
This is my show,
Stop
okay?
yelling at me on your show.
I said it's going to be fine. It's going to run long. We already covered it.
Okay.
We've done it at houses before. This time, we're doing it at a hotel. We won't get around the specifics of why and whatnot. It doesn't matter. There was supposed to be not a meeting room, but a little breakfast nook area, big space where we could have been sitting happy, do this draft. It got taken like a couple hours before our draft. So we're screwed, right? So our plan is, the only realistic option when we get there is to have it in the workout room.
Duh.
So we get in there and we're like setting up. It was fine. The problem was there's no place to sit.
Yeah, we're sitting on treadmills.
Yeah. Now, I do the board, so I'm standing up and stuff, so it's not a problem for me. So I was like, it's fine for me, obviously, but if you guys... We ended up deciding that it's okay after like a bit. We called a few restaurants locally to see if they had like a room. Nobody did. And we didn't want to pay for it or anything. So we literally put the board up. I put it up. I got these like sticky tacks. It's like 4 feet by 5 feet, something like this. Huge board, right? I tell the first person they're on the clock, we're good. He tells the pick. I put the first sticker. No, I didn't even get the sticker off.
Didn't even get the sticker off.
I was looking for the name in the sticker book. And the manager of the hotel walks in and says, basically, we got to leave. Some people want to use the workout room. It was bullshit. It was the people from the party. I get it. It was whatever. It was a young child that wanted to walk in there. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what the deal so was. Whatever. We couldn't be in there.
We had to leave. Then we were going to like do it outside because people were like, because we had people that had rooms at the hotel, and we're like, well, we can't do it in there. And they're like, it's tiny. And like, they weren't worried about us going in there or anything, but like, they're like, it's just tiny. Because we had a bunch of dudes. We had 9 draftees. One guy wasn't there. 9 draftees, 1 advisor, 2 other advisors, and then a guy on the couch. So I think there was like 13 guys total.
Yeah.
And this... So whatever, I checked the room. The room was more than fine. Yeah. It worked out perfectly, actually, I thought. You sat in a corner.
I sat in a corner. Yeah.
That wasn't even facing the draft board.
No, I was
He didn't see the draft board at all.
With me. Like, there's no way I could see the draft board, yeah.
So, it was interesting. We got it done. It don't matter. Yeah, it was a fun time.
It was fun, yeah.
So that was our draft day story. How do you feel about your... I didn't know you had him. That'll be good for you.
I don't even know what I have.
How do you feel about your team?
Other than the Andrew Luck thing, I was feeling pretty good.
I'm saying initial thoughts of everything.
Initial thoughts, I was feeling pretty darn good about it.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard not to when you walk away with the 10th pick in a, like I said, quarterback drafted first league, walking away with Andrew Luck and Drew Brees, who, like I said, I was 6th, and I did not believe. I at the 6th pick, I was believing that I would be drafting either Baker Mayfield or who was I thinking? I think it was him or Andrew Luck, maybe. Anyways, whatever happened, the first few picks, the first 6 picks were all QBs. They just weren't the way I thought. Cam Newton got thrown in 4th by the new kid, which made me think maybe we got to send him back to the minors for another year. And then I was able to pick up Aaron Rodgers. I lied. I took my first 2 quarterbacks through my first 4 picks. That's how weird it got. After me, there was a run of running backs, and then Dan was able to grab Luck and then Breeze with the 11th. I don't know.
I mean, other than that, like, I like my wide receivers. I like my running backs are my only things. Like, they're either hit or miss.
So he's got Josh Jacobs, Derrick Henry, and Darius Geis, that's who I was saying is going to be good. Man, he's looking pretty good in preseason.
Yeah, and they got McKinnon to round it out.
Yeah, Geis is looking pretty solid.
I know, and that's the thing is I feel.
So Dan has
pretty decent.
Dan's got Luck and Breeze. He doesn't have Luck anymore. His running backs are Josh Jacobs, Derrick Henry, Darius Geis, Jerick McKinnon. Wide receivers Mike Evans, Keenan Allen, Tyler Boyd, Sterling Shepard. And then I'm not even going to mention.
Yeah,
we're going to go down there. Tight end is O.J. Howard. He's got the Titans defense, and the Robbie Gould is his kicker.
Yep.
Me, I have. I started with Aaron Rodgers, and then I went wide receiver, running back. I got Hopkins and Mixon. So my quarterbacks are Rodgers, Rivers. Running backs are Joe Mixon, Austin Eckler, and Kenyon Drake. So we got some figuring out to do there. Wide receivers DeAndre Hopkins, Amari Cooper, and then DJ Moore. And then my tight end Zach Ertz. Kicker Harrison Butker, and the biggest fault in my draft was drafting the defense. A, that I did. B, when I did. C, at all, really. Just the whole thought. That was the biggest downfall in my draft. I was also very happy with my draft. Except when I looked back, I remember when you said it, I went, what the fuck is wrong with me? That's exactly what I did last year. Why did I not remember this? And this is a first fantasy tip for you guys out there. It's something I read last year. I don't know if you read it or what is like basically just streaming defenses weekly. I've read a lot about it. And basically you just search the waiver wire each week for the best matchup-based defense. I ended up taking the Jaguars fairly early. I was like I can't remember which way it goes. I think I drafted third. I was the third person to take a defense, and I took the Jaguars. The third person to take a defense, and I took it. They're already dropped.
Oh wow!
They played fucking Patrick Mahomes week 1.
Oh yeah, that's
so that was my first fucking problem. Not to mention and
I think I was one of the later defense. I don't even know where I was defense wise. I think I was pretty late.
Yeah, you were the last person to take a defense.
I knew I was sitting back because the whole I'm not gonna put because was it in years past? I would put a whole pick on my defense that in the big scheme of things, I don't really look at them as unless you got some crazy defense that
they're not going to change the game.
You get lucky. They're not going to change. I'm looking for most of the time for them to not lose me points.
100%.
So if they can get 3-4 points, that's okay.
I'll take it. I'd say the only I agree 100%. The only if you have maybe the Bears, maybe taking the Bears is worth it. Other than that,
if you're
waiting for it is probably best.
Because
I said, I fucked up.
Say it doesn't happen because I think I had the Vikings. It was a couple of years ago or something. They were projected to be one of the top defenses, and they were They were spotty. It relies heavily. The points is one, they have to not give up a lot of points, which, it's whatever. And then where the bonus incentives come in is with turnovers and things like that. So just them playing solid defense, no turnovers, is kind of, I don't know. The game, the way that's scored and everything, from what I've noticed, is just defenses are kind of
you said, you just don't want negative.
Your week, they could drop a 20 bomb on you, and you're like, oh my god, my defense went off. But they could also go negative, and that's how I was with the Vikings that year. Is it was just kind of a couple points, a big week, and then negative. I was just I just want consistent,
100%,
even if it's low.
And the best way to do that is check the waiver wire every week and match up. You're gonna want to be hitting up Jacoby Brissett week 1, maybe. And that's what I did. I was like, what the fuck is wrong with me? And I look because I'm my defense. I was like, I picked a good defense. The Jaguars. I look, they're projected 6 points or something. I'm like, that's not bad, but what
a
the
standard
fuck?
one's somewhere around 9.
9, yeah. 9, 8, 9, 10 is a good week.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the hell? And I go, oh, they're versing Patty Mahomes week 1, and I'm like, what the hell is wrong with me?
Mm-hmm.
So I end up one of the best weekly week 1 is the Eagles, a good defense, and we're versing Washington, baby. We're gonna take Case Keenum to the house a few times, hopefully. So that's who I'm rolling with week 1.
Okay.
And honestly, and that's not to say your flyer for they might have a couple good weeks in a row, good matchups, or at least better than. I don't want to say the best option, but maybe it's not risky.
Yeah, true. It's damage control.
Yeah.
You're not always going to get find something.
Well, you said, I don't need the positive. I just need a couple points.
Yeah. That's the thing. I don't need them to lose. It's almost like they could lose you. Because nothing's worse than looking and seeing that they're taking points away from you. Because some of these weeks can come down to...
Oh, when Patty Mahomes drops 50 on you, it's negative. It's basically when you... I can't remember what score it is. Once you go above that, I think it's probably like 40-ish points.
Yeah.
After 40, it starts becoming negative points. And if they don't have sacks or interceptions, which probably isn't happening if they're getting 40 dropped on them, then they're going to be negative.
It's a correlation.
Yeah.
So it's either they're balling out or they're getting wrecked.
Yeah.
So that's why you kind of want to find it.
Chill in the middle.
I just want to that's why the whole projection, because when the games start, they give you 10 points right off the bat.
Right.
They give you 10 points, and it's like, okay, how low
where are we going to go?
Because it always goes down, usually. So
because the shutout is
take a little off the top, and then if we can finish the game like that, okay, cool.
Yeah. Yeah, that's all very true. So that's the biggest problem I had with my draft.
And then kickers, we look at it the same way. I used to take kickers and be like, this is my kicker for the year.
See, kickers I do not view the same way. The kicker, now, I just want to be on a high-scoring offense. Guaranteed PATs. If the team's scoring a lot, you're guaranteed attempts at PATs.
True. I think about it that way, but then my other thing is now I'm just I'm plug and playing guys, but then I think of Robbie. I took Robbie.
But how do you plug and play? Because it's not necessarily. There's a minor, like a defense. There's a minor correlation to the team that they're versing. So what's the plug and play with that?
They're not dropping crazy points usually, most of the time. They're not a huge source of.
No. No. But
which is why I took who I took when I took them.
Well, yours is a good pick.
I actually got a good pick. But then my other thought, now as much as I want to say I took them late and I was just okay, whatever, my thought process also is Niners aren't dropping tutties all year.
So that's what I was going to say is
they're just going to kind of.
If you have a decent enough offense, you can get into field goal range.
Yeah, they ain't touching the red zone.
Then you can kick field goals.
And that's what I'm kind of
That's the other school.
It'll tell right away. It's gonna tell me within the first couple weeks where's the San Francisco offense at, so I can kind of see is Robbie getting the chances
based on the preseason. That's not looking good.
Yeah, it's not looking good. But those aren't.
Obviously,
those aren't real games. So let's see how he does, and then I can adjust from there, and then I can go to the strat where I'm hey, you know what? I'm gonna just kind of cycle through some guys.
One of the funny things that, based on exactly what you're saying, is projections in the preseason when we don't really know what's going to happen. They are hilarious. You look at the projections for weekly total in our league. It happens every year. Everybody's sky fucking high.
Oh, with Andrew Luck, I'm the only one under 200 now.
And
it's not going to go like that.
No way.
Usually there's only a few.
Last year there was teams. It seems, again, fantasy's changing, and there's people balling out nowadays, much more, it seems, than previously, to where a couple years back... If you were
shocked by the projections of over 200 points, that's because of points per completion.
That's the QB.
Yeah, because some people are just oh my God.
Yeah. So QBs, a good QB week is 50. I want 50.
Yeah, 50 would be nice.
And then I want
40? Okay. Below that?
I really want 45. 45 I'm good. 50 I'm happy.
True, between 40 and 50 is probably I can live
40
with it.
I'm a little pissed if I'm being honest.
Well, Jacoby's projected 36. So
when you have
hoping.
When you have a good QB.
Yeah, when you have a good QB. If he does below
I think
that,
the other difference is most leagues quarterbacks are 4 points per touchdown, which again, why?
Yeah.
I mean, I get it. They do have, Patty Mahomes at 50 last year versus a running back only has. So I guess that's a little weighted. But again, we're still valuing that quarterback over them. So we have 6 points for our quarterback.
Every touchdown.
Any sort of touchdown is 6 points.
It's what it is.
Because that's what it is. That's why am I valuing a different touchdown over this touchdown?
The only thing that changes value-wise, I guess, is a field goal. Based on the distance.
Well, yeah. That's typical.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just... Sorry.
No, I'm just saying.
Sorry, it's your show. It's your show.
Yeah, get it right. But so projections, they're crazy.
Yeah, they're
high. Insane.
Very high.
And I'm just like, yeah, okay. Yeah. Okay, average 230 for the year. Good luck.
Yeah, there's no way.
So I love to see those, like, you got quarterbacks that are projected 52 every week, and it's like, okay, come on. It's not happening.
Yeah.
Moving on to a few other things from my team, I'm currently struggling hard, and this is maybe where you guys come in with some opinions. You can weigh yours too. No sabotage. So I have DeAndre Hopkins and Amari Cooper. We're set. Wide receiver 1 and 2. We're Gucci.
Mm-hmm.
And then we go down to flex. Now I currently have, and he was my highest taken, DJ Moore. Really good rookie year, especially the second half. Really good rapport with Cam Newton, which also throws a wrench in this. He just got hurt. How does that work? And the problem is, freaking everyone is talking about Curtis Samuel and how much he got better and all that. Mm-hmm. I'm like, so then I got Christian Kirk and Corey Davis, who a lot of people are talking about Christian Kirk with Kyler.
Mm-hmm.
Kirk's a fast little PPR guy that could potentially blow up in his second year. Corey Davis, obviously, stud from 3 years ago, whatever, the Mike Williams. We got both Mike Williams and Corey Davis from that draft, both drafted within the top 7. And Corey Davis had a great year last year. Problem is, he's a little spotty because of Mariota.
Mm-hmm. So
I'm stuck in this, like, they're literally all projected, like, 1 point different. It's so, and now I got the freaking Cam Newton thing, plus, and that is honestly probably going to tip the scale to somebody else. But before that, it was like, the really thing that was making me question is all this Curtis Samuel talk. And I'm like, what do I do? I got these 3 guys. They're literally all projected the same. Oh, and the 4th one that just balled out because I took with my last pick, Emmanuel Sanders, even though he had his ACL or torn Achilles last year, and then he looks great. And I've had Emmanuel for a few years. He's weirdly one of those like older guys that I've taken because he's another slot PPR type guy.
Mm-hmm.
So I got those fucking questions to figure out on my team. And then, of course, I got the other problem with Eckler and Melvin Gordon holding out. And I'm like, please, go.
Yeah.
Actually, we were talking earlier, some sort of fantasy news. Obviously, you all know about this by now. We had Lamar Miller tear his ACL. Was it 2 days ago? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this may be for the benefit of my fantasy team. What if we just trade Melvin Gordon there? Lamar Miller's out in Houston. Torn ACL. Solid team in Houston. We got a good Deshaun Watson. We got Hopkins.
Yeah.
We got J.J. Watt. All those guys. What are they? They're worried about Jadeveon Clowney leaving. Why don't we ship him over to San Diego? Get us a Melvin Gordon type guy. Just a thought. I thought of it today, literally.
I don't know.
Hot takes.
Maybe. I mean,
hot takes.
That's
that way I don't. That way my Eckler can be my second starter.
Yeah.
I'm just looking for my fantasy.
Write him a letter.
Yeah.
Write him a letter.
I should.
I mean, those Chargers. So you're saying Clowney, Melvin?
Maybe. I don't know what the asking price is for Melvin.
True.
But I literally thought of the Clowney thing as we were here.
The defensive line though for Chargers would be
Joey and Melvin and no, it's not Melvin. It's what's their isn't it?
I don't know the other guy. But the ends
Yeah.
alone.
Well, he's their end. He's their current end, so they'd have a third one.
Yeah, but they'll flip that shit around.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe.
I'm just looking for that.
I mean, they do have Eckler, but it's like
here's the thing is
Melvin's very good. And do you just want to like
well, the problem is Melvin has had a low yard per rush is the problem. He had a shitload of TDs last year.
Yeah, he had a ton.
But like and here was the reason, the main reason I was okay taking Eckler because I believed that holdout to be strong, and it seems like it is.
Yeah.
And even with Melvin Gordon Eckler was literally still a flex play last year. He was literally a starting flex player because he's a good PPR guy, and they were using him to rush as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, he's good. Problem is now they're talking about this freaking Justin Jackson is potentially going to steal some points from him. I still think I'll be fine, but I'm a little worried about it.
I think it's too early to like.
It's so early. That's the problem.
This thing is like, as you're saying, I've got this guy, this guy, this guy. If it was me, I'm literally just like throwing one that I kind of gut feeling think is going to do well week 1, and then you just have to assess because there's no way of knowing. There's no way of knowing. He has no. You don't know how they're playing.
Yeah.
Right now, I mean, you get preseason reps, but it's like.
Problem is my gut goes everywhere. My gut loves them all.
Yeah.
Because literally when you say that, I go, my very first thought was back to the wide receiver. I go, Corey Davis.
And put Corey Davis.
But then I go, man, Mariota sucks. And then, so my second thought was, Emmanuel Sanders. He's got Joe Flacco. What about that? That's kind of cute.
Is it cute?
But how about Kyler Murray? He needs somebody to throw to. That's kind of nice too, right?
True. Well,
that's fucking.
Well, you just pick one.
I know.
And then you gotta see who starts balling.
Yeah. But then I shoot myself in the foot.
Because that's how I'm looking at my team. I'm just like, after like the main 1-2 guy, or just like you're saying, like after your main starters, but for my running backs even the ones I have in, I'm like, let's just see how y'all do. Week 1 is just like, especially now that Andrew's gone, I'm just like, who's going to show up?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, we got to write those projections. Those projections are here.
Yeah.
We got to go back down and level.
And see, okay,
let's get them correct.
What are we really messing with?
Yeah.
Because there's no way you're all going to average this throughout the year. It's insane.
Yep. Okay, so I guess that's about it. All right, on that topic at least. One other thing, me and you talked about this before the draft, we started. Back on the whole Andrew Luck thing, another hot take from your boy.
Oh, yes.
Andrew Luck, just saying, what happens if in a few years when the XFL gets going, I mean, look at the timing. It's a little weird, right? Last week we had the XFL logos come out.
All the teams. And
now out of nowhere, Andrew Luck is retired.
Well, people who don't know.
Andrew Luck's father is, I don't know what his title is, but he's running the XFL. I don't know if he's the president, the commissioner, whatever you want to call it. He's the number one guy in the XFL. Come on. What if maybe he's the big selling point?
We have to play some football still,
and as crazy as it sounds, like they do need a face if they want to be an actual league. They need a face. They need to have somebody to come watch.
What was before the NFL was the NFL? Wasn't there? There's the
AFL was his own league.
Yeah, and it was like Marino not Marino, Steve Young or who was it? There's a few.
Yeah.
Huge names because it wasn't like,
and that's what forced them to merge because there was good talent there.
Yeah,
and so you need that if you're the XFL and you think you're gonna have a shot, you're gonna need some talent, right?
Dude, XFL. So I look at their
logos.
No, I looked at their page.
Oh,
and guess who they're hyping up as like a premier player?
Who?
Landry Jones.
Ooh,
like. Okay. Last time XFL was a thing, who's the Super Bowl winning quarterback?
Kurt Warner.
No.
You mean their Super Bowl?
David Carr.
Oh, their Super Bowl.
Yeah, their Super Bowl. Their top quarterback in the running the league.
Hey, his brother's in the NFL now.
Yeah. Okay. David Carr.
He had an NFL career, though.
I think he was with the LA Gladiators, I think their name was. Whatever. They won the Super Bowl, and he was balling out, and it's like, clearly there's
so exactly what I'm saying. They need to bring eyes to the league. Andrew Luck, premier player on whatever team he wants.
And wins every game.
Oh, he would... Yeah.
They would dominate.
Win. They would win. I mean, he dominated the NFL.
They would just...
But what if they can get other high-name guys?
True.
Because what they do is... it's similar... We're not going to cross paths here, but it's similar to the Ninja Mixer thing. You just give this guy a fuckload of money.
Yeah.
And it would be crazy if it happens because it would take serious preparation because he had this 6-year contract, but I'm wondering if they did it this early.
Did you see they're not taking money back?
They're not taking his money?
Because
he was owed like $58 million. 58.1 mil.
But he owed money back. Or something like that. And the Colts weren't going to take any. I forgot the exact. I'll look it up real quick. Keep talking.
Because I saw that he was owed $58.1 million and that he was leaving that on the table. But anyway, so if they, I'm wondering if they did it early, if him and his father colluded this, so that it wasn't like it could be like a thing where he goes, actually I do want to play. My heart's back in it, and the XFL gave me a shitload of money. I'm sorry I left the NFL 2-3 years ago, but I'm here.
So, despite the fact that they could have recouped $24.8 million from their former QB, the Colts already have reached a financial settlement with Andrew Luck in which they will not take back any of the money they are owed. League sources tell ESPN.
I wonder if that's like signing bonus money that wasn't guaranteed money. Because you know how they like front load those contracts to be signing bonuses.
Well,
although
and all the comments are
guaranteed. I don't know.
That's the thing you do if he ever decides he wants to come back. Like if there's any chance he would ever that he would come change his mind, that's the thing you do. So it's like he's
with you.
He's like, all right, we're still on really good terms. They did this for me,
and he doesn't seem. He's super cool. Dude.
I mean, everyone.
I listened to that press conference, and it was insane.
Most
I think he is done.
Guy.
The unfortunate thing is it because he got his ass whooped because of a shitty offensive line?
True.
That is so bad if that's the case.
Yeah. What was touted as the best quarterback to come out since Peyton Manning.
Yeah.
And this is how it ends because they could not stop a defensive line.
He played 6 years.
Yeah.
Through over 7 seasons because he didn't play the one season.
Yeah.
It's crazy. When I read it, I was like, and when I said it, I don't know if you saw my text originally, I was like, they were like, is Dan going to take the back out? I was like, let's let the dust settle, make sure this is real, because we had the whole Antonio Brown, which I saw today, he had his second grievance denied, so he's going to have to either wear this helmet, and I'm scared because I was about to take the flyer on him, I didn't, and he looks fucking good. He looks like he's going to be fine.
But is he going to play?
But is he going to? I think he is.
He's crazy, dude. He's crazy.
I don't know.
But, yeah, I mean, that if he was
in the XFL
thing is insane. But yeah,
him and Landry Jones might fight it out for the Super Bowl.
But I mean, people would have to start switching over, because that's the other thing is, as much as you want to see Andrew, it'd be like, oh my god, we're gonna see Andrew Luck in the XFL. If he's playing against garbage people,
oh yeah, that's why I don't watch as bad as this may sound to anyone. That's why I don't watch college football. I don't give a flying fuck.
Well, college football is different though.
No, I get it. They're level
titans, and there's clearly better teams.
No, I know,
but they'll face each other. But if one team's got Andrew Luck, and then the next best is ran by Landry Jones, he's gonna whoop on him. And why am I gonna watch? Because there's, at least in college football, there's competition.
Most of the time. Because there are times where...
But in the XFL, if Andrew Luck is your quarterback and then the next best is Landry Jones, there is no competition.
Well, hold on. Because this year, we might see Tom Brady or Drew Brees versus Jacoby Brissett. So...
Yeah, but
the talent around it.
I know. If you're putting Andrew Luck with... And it's like... when
Landry Jones... talent level D-backs is what we're getting at here.
It's not... And that's
comparison.
Not, as much of a knock it is on Landry...
Oh, and not to mention, these people are much better athletes than us. We're not saying 100%. That at all.
But there's levels to the game.
Because we are the Landry Jones of the podcast world.
Yes.
Joe Rogan is over there I am fucking Joe Montana, Brett Favre, and...
But the thing is, Landry Jones, they know who Landry Jones is.
Yeah.
We're last chance use.
So don't get it twisted. We get it.
But you just, as much as you want to, it'd be kind of like crazy to see him in there, and it's obviously hypothetical because his dad is running it. But
back to the college thing, you do still have some of that, even with the titans of the college football world. I mean, they still might have a starting corner who literally never sees a down in the NFL, but he's still like very good for college.
Well, yeah. Well, that's the thing. You can't think of it as like I don't know if but you're saying like.
But so I just don't want to watch
the game
that.
Going, man, that corner's never gonna make it, and it's like that's not the thing. I'm
not saying it that. I'm saying because of his talent, it's apparent to the eye that he's not as good. And it just so happens that that's the reason why he's not going to make it to the NFL. And that's why I don't want to watch, because it's not the highest level of football. Similar to, like, obviously why people, it's different, but like people watch NASCAR and they're not watching, you know, the truck series again.
You talking shit about the truck series? Jesus, throw them and Landry Jones under the bus, why don't you?
Hey, I'm a fan of Landry, man.
But yeah, I mean, there would just have to be. It's more than just him coming over. It would have to be like just a ton of talent.
Oh, it'd have to be,
and because you're just gonna get people who are still chasing that dream and chasing
at that this point in our world.
But I'm sure it's better than. I mean, it seems like better than Arena off the bat.
Yeah.
Because Arena, I've heard stories, and it's like, apparently you don't get paid unless you win.
Well, I think there's much bigger bonuses on the winning team.
I don't know, it's great, and it's so little money.
Oh, I know.
And you're playing on like a 50-yard field, and it's
but it's kind of fun. So
a wall that you just get slammed into, it's so crazy. The whole idea of it.
Fuck, what was I gonna say?
I don't know. It's your show.
No, I had a good thought. Oh no. Anyways. Fuck.
All right.
That's good.
Was it about college?
No.
Was it about... He has no idea.
The last topic, we're running a little long, obviously.
Yeah.
But the last topic, we'll do it quickly. Any sleepers you have for this year? Players you do or do not like? No.
I ain't gonna say it on here.
I mean, I don't really have...
Well, I don't know. I it's just too hard to tell right now. I just don't know. I mean, obviously, people have sleepers by now, and it's like... I don't think if you say them, it's not like someone in our league or even I can get them, because if it's a sleeper, you think, unless you just value your bench players, you'd pick them up already. I think they're just people like on other people's teams where I'm looking at that guy. Like I said, like Darius Geis, he's looking. Yeah. I think he's gonna be good on your team. Not anybody I can think of specifically, because I don't know. Sleepers is kind of. It's hard for me to guess that. I gotta see.
Yeah, I don't really have. Honestly, I don't really have any either. Like I said, Geis, I'm liking what I see. When I said players I don't like, the one person I don't get the hype behind is Damian Williams, the running back for the Chiefs. Like, he hit a flash in the pan for a couple weeks in Kansas City in a good system. He's been a bad player for the rest of his career. Like, he's been bad. And it's. I don't know much. But it sounds like their rookie backup is like good.
What's his? So
he'd be the sleeper. Darwin Thompson, I think.
Okay, yeah, because isn't there 2 Williams and a Thompson? I forgot their 3 backs that they
maybe the rookie is supposedly good, and Andy Reid has said they're going to be splitting, so it's already looking bad for Damian, and I think he's just going to be. It's going to be a yikes from me. Who's got him? Ed. Good for him. I guess he's not really a sleeper, but I'm really high on Nick Chubb.
Yeah, that team might be the one I'm most interested to see. Like,
watch
what are they now? Like, what will they become?
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Yeah, the Browns are, especially if they weren't so terrible in the past.
Yeah,
no one would really. I mean, it would just been like, oh wow, they've kind of got like a real squad this year. But now it's like they have a team.
Oh, dude, and every position looks solid.
That offense is scary. Defense, Myles Garrett running that thing, that's a monster.
Well, they got Greedy this year.
Yeah, they got Greedy now.
Yeah, so
we'll see.
It'll be fun.
They're going to be fun to watch. And then the Bears.
The Bears, let's go.
Mac Attack.
Hell yeah. It's going to be fun. We gotta. I was very upset last year, obviously, with our playoff loss, mainly for the one reason. I shouldn't say mainly for the one reason. People don't understand that, yeah, we had a good year. It's going to be very hard to replicate for multiple reasons. It's just hard to win 12 games in the NFL.
Yeah.
But if you look at our schedule, it's infinitely worse this year. I think we have, the Saints. I can't remember it now, but I remember it because the schedule had, just come out before we had lost or something, and I went, we're fucked next year.
It's kind of loaded.
It's scary. I still think we're going to be fine.
People need to make a little bit of a jump.
Yeah. Our defense was just historically fantastic, and I believe they can be again.
Yeah.
But there's a high possibility that they're not. Mm-hmm. We had Kyle Fuller dominated a year after not really doing much at all. Mm-hmm. At the cornerback position, that's going to be hard to replicate. Mm-hmm. There's no doubt about it. We lost Amos. He's now at the Packers. Now, I'm fine with Clinton Dix and his replacement. Yeah. He's not projected as well, but I think he'll be fine. Uh-huh. And, yeah, like I said, we had fucking Kyle Fuller just dominate after not.
Yeah.
And it's very possible he goes back.
Well, that's the thing is, especially not having years of it under his belt, it's like, okay, luckily, this year will tell a lot.
It's not like he's like Patrick Peterson been doing this for 6 years, or Darryl Revis, or Nnamdi Asomugha, one of these people that's been doing it forever. Luckily...
Yo, I forgot about Asomugha.
Ooh, he was a baller, huh?
Wow, yeah.
And he was on a trash team, too.
Yeah.
But luckily, you believe that the pass rush is going to be there again, and that'll speed up their time to throw, which will force them into worse throws, which will help Kyle. So, potentially it'll be fine. And hopefully, and I believe so.
Montgomery he's
looking good.
He's looking good.
I'm liking it.
Receivers are great. Tight end's great.
It'll be fun.
Trubisky, I think, is just he gets another year under him and Matt.
I really hope we have.
I think it turns. I think it's turned into something. I
just want a steady. Even if we're not that good, I want him to have a good year, and I want him to be our guy. I don't want there to be any questions. Yeah. He was this high draft pick. We haven't had a steady quarterback since what? Are we gonna talk?
A good steady.
Are we gonna say Jay Cutler? Get the fuck out of here.
True, that was a steady quarterback, but that was
not good.
A roller coaster. Yeah.
So it's like I just want some sort of consistency there.
Yeah.
Just for my sanity.
Yeah, I want to go through was it the Browns?
Browns?
Where they just had
the Texans before Deshaun.
Just year after year, you're just new names, new people, and they're just like... That's the thing is, it's got to feel... we kind of got it with Jay Cutler where it's like, okay, we know Jay's going to start. But think of how New England feels.
Well, look how they're going to feel in a minute. But
oh, yeah, but I'm saying, look how they felt.
Oh, yeah.
For the longest time. Colts and Peyton Manning.
Then to Luck. What lucky motherfuckers they are.
Yeah,
Phillip Rivers, Ben Roethlisberger, Eli Manning.
It was never a thought.
All these guys. All these teams have been set. Drew Brees and the Saints. There's many teams out there. Now, a lot of these names also, like I said, with Tom Brady and the Patriots, they're going to have questions coming up here.
True, yes.
When you think about it, we're going to have some turnover coming.
Yes.
It's coming.
Oh, the Breeze.
Brady, Breeze, Rivers, Eli. Which, who'd have thunk Daniel Jones would be balling like he is? Good for him, yo. Yeah. Everyone hated on him.
Yeah, so now it's like... kind of like an underdog.
It's kind of cool. I kind of like it.
It's like the Kristaps thing. They booed Kristaps.
Yes.
And then Kristaps
New York is historically a bunch of dickheads.
Yeah, they just hate instantly, which I'm not sitting here like I was like, damn, you all got Daniel Jones lucky. It's like, I was like, who did you take over Dwayne Haskins? Okay. All right.
And it's looking like not a bad choice.
It's actually...
Who knows?
Who knows? Preseason.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see how it goes.
We will see how it goes.
So, Bradley, how you like to end your show?
I think we just wrap it up now. We say we'll see you next week. Next week will be shorter. We're just going to... Obviously, we had a lot more to start this. You know, we had to talk about the league, the rules, how it is normally, all that kind of stuff. But we won't have that next week. It'll be... next week will actually be the pre-season show, because in 2 weeks show will be our first reaction to what happened in the NFL
stuff. Yeah, so after this it's kind of just we can kind of go through what happened last week and stuff.
And if there's more sports, we didn't get into it. The Cubs, we talking about it all. Basketball there's coming up, hockey's coming up.
Yeah. So this was
right now.
Football is so it right now.
Yeah, right now. And fantasy, obviously,
especially with October. Baseball is going to be picking up, playoffs and everything. So we'll get into that a little bit.
I'll figure out how to structure my show
figure out your show, dude.
So
Brad's short briefs. I don't even know what it's called.
Short sports.
Yeah,
the name on the docket is the broadcast booth. Who knows?
I mean, you know what it's called by now.
I mean, that's probably what's going to be unless
because it's his job. I'm leaving it up to him to figure out the name of his damn show.
Yeah, my show. And
that's how we do it.
Yeah, and peep the jersey. You'll see a new one next week.
Oh, show him off. Show him your semi.
I should probably talk about it.
Sean Taylor, your favorite player.
Favorite player of all time. Sean Taylor. A lot of you may not know. Safety, Redskins, tragically murdered, shot femoral artery.
But he went out like a G.
Yeah, with a fucking machete in his hand.
He tried to take out some robbers with a machete.
His house was robbed when they believed he was out of town. He was not. Grabbed the machete by the bedside. Pop, pop. One in the leg kills you. That's just the shittiest way.
Yeah, such a shame.
Yeah,
but
fantastic talent.
What a beast.
A bopper.
Yeah.
They got, what's his name now over there?
If you don't know who he is, just look up Sean Taylor highlights.
Yeah.
You'll enjoy him.
One thing, career note, I mean, he picked off Brett Favre to make Brett Favre the most intercepted quarterback in history. He's just a beast. Look up his highlights. You'll go, oh! About 10 times.
The other thing is we're basing this people who clicked on this didn't know sports.
Yeah, well,
they probably know.
Who knows their age?
True.
How much these people might know offensive, fantasy-minded people. Maybe they don't know the defensive guys.
They already know Sean Taylor though.
Anyways, we will see you guys next week. Thank you for watching.
Peace.